Di, I want to move on because all this summer here on OTB AM we've been building our Electric Ireland Minor Jubilee 15 as we go in search of the best minor hurlers from the last 25 years. Every week we've been talking about the contenders for the positions, and we've been letting our viewers and listeners vote on our Twitter poll. As a matter of interest, the minor team that you played on, were you on Johnny Pilkington's minor team?
We won it in 86. I don't know, Johnny Pilkington was on the panel, I think, in 86. We won the first one in 86. And then
was Declan on your team? Was
Declan was corner forward.
Yeah.
Scored 2-2 in the final against Cork, yeah.
Yeah, he would definitely, if we'd extended this another 10 years, he would have been in contention as a forward. So unfortunately it's
it was because you see, we played Cork in the minor final, but also subsequently that year, back in early May, our colleges team, Borough, had beaten Northmont in the colleges A final as well by a big score. So, you know, and Banagher Vocational School had won the Vocationals All-Ireland. So there was a really strong group, core group. But interestingly, there were only 7 at our team were Borough, 5 were Rhinus, 2 were Luscombe and 1 Kilcormac. There was only 4 clubs. 2 clubs brought 12 at a starting team, which was really indicative of kind of where we are in our base and you know, how small of a base it is. But actually, Offaly won 3 out of 4. Won 86, 87, lost 88, and Kilkenny won it, and beat Clare in 89. Got to the 3 corresponding under 21 titles, and lost the 3 under 21 titles.
Wow, I didn't realise you lost the 3 under 21s after that. So, and that's the engine of the team that goes on in the 90s then.
Correct.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, a good team. So last week we picked the midfielders. It was Ger Farragher from the 2001 Galway side and Noel McGrath from obviously the brilliant Tip minor teams of 06 to 08. Noel McGrath topped that poll pretty handy. Michael Rice was third, and Willie Marr of Tip from the 96 team was there as well. So this week we're talking about the contenders for the half-forward line, pardon me, with some box office names. Right half-forward, Jason Flynn of Galway, Shane Long of Tip in 2003, and Richie Murray from Galway in 99 and 2000. I don't remember Shane Long as a minor hurler. Was he good enough to get in this poll, or are we just looking for some star sprinkled in there? Are we fishing for clicks here?
My answer to that is I don't know, because I don't remember him hurling.
That's fair enough. He's fast. We know that.
The best minor performance I've seen in a long time was Niall Burke, centre forward for Galway in 09. He orchestrated an All-Ireland minor win. He was absolutely outstanding centre forward for Galway minors in 09. That's the one. Power, of course, you know, was phenomenal. But Niall Burke is the one that stands out for me against Kilkenny in 2009. An absolutely brilliant performance.
Okay,
he drove Galway on.
Maybe we can get him added to our list of contenders here. Our centre
the best minor performance I'd seen in quite a while, I have to say.
Okay, so what we have is Richie Power from 2002, 2003, centre forward, and Kieran Fraggy Murphy, obviously part of the backroom team recently with Cork, is from 2001 as well. I didn't remember Fraggy as a marauding centre forward.
No, but you see, there's a lot of guys who at minor. I mean, we had guys, you know, who Joe Irrity was our minor goalkeeper in 1986, and he was centre forward in the All Ireland final of 1998. Yeah. John Troy, believe it or not, John Troy. People say, John Doyle has a unique record of 4 or 3. Is it 3 minor All Ireland medals? And John Troy is left out, but John Troy has 3 minor All-Ireland medals. John Troy was sub-goalie at 15 or 14 years of age in 1986 for Offaly. He was there in goals in 87, in 88, and I think he was centre forward in 89. So he actually was there the 4 years and has 3 minor All-Ireland medals, an extraordinary feat.
Yeah.
But he was goalkeeper in 1, centre forward. Irrity was goalie in 1 and was centre forward in a senior All-Ireland. So it doesn't always work that guys play the same positions from minor up to senior.
No, it's a fair point. When Tommy Walsh was talking the other night about players who could make the ball talk, John Troy could make the ball talk, right?
But he doesn't talk outside of the hurling field. I play golf with him regularly, and he's a really quiet guy, but he's very, very witty. Really witty guy. Yeah, Eamon Cregan made a really interesting point about John Troy, and it was his opinion. People might disagree, but Eamon Cregan's entitled to his opinion. He said if John Troy had pace, he'd have been one of the greatest hurlers of all time, in his view, which I thought was interesting.
I can see that. Certainly, he's got the wrists and he's got the striking ability that, as good as absolutely anybody. So the left half forward nominees, we've got Cian Lynch and Tomás O'Leary. Obviously, Tomás O'Leary goes on to win a Grand Slam with Ireland, and he's Sean O'Leary's son. Obviously, would have been a bit of pressure on a youngster coming up with a name like that, but definitely he's one of the lads that people talked about. His talents. We canvassed opinion from some people. Ryan O'Dwyer, the former Tip and Dublin hurler, talking about Shane Long, said he was a phenomenal player, could play anywhere. The two things that stood out to him most was about his pace and his leap, obviously, as well. We've seen him get high above defenders and doing that. Michael Rice, talking about Richie Power, described Richie as a minor, as a game changer, the go-to player who stood up when the lads needed him. And against Galway in 2002, things weren't going well. Richie must have run 30 or 40 yards and scored a goal. Obviously saying that he had a killer instinct even then, because most players would have taken a point. And Cian Lynch, Cian Lynch is such a beautiful hurler. He's been a natural talent all his life. His ability to do the unexpected was magic, and was one of the linchpins of that minor team. And on Richie Power, he's just said that Richie Power was unstoppable. So the half-forward line of the Jubilee team is going to be a good line, no matter who we end up picking here.
I remember Power playing minor. I mean, he was sensational.
Yeah,
sensational. Win games on his own. He was that good as a minor. He'd turn games. He'd do things when games needed to be turned. He'd score goals. He'd score hard goals. You know, he'd forage and he'd win, and he'd great pace. Like those All-Irelands you spoke about, it was at them, and you remember, you know, he was a fantastic minor, brilliant, and he carried it on. Not everyone does, but he did. Brilliant player. No,
for sure. I think possibly even a little bit underrated at this point in his career. Daithi, good stuff. Thanks very much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the week.
Enjoy the weekend.